And we're preparing food.
What are you preparing the food for?
For dinner, it's me and my mother and my sister. But I'm upset
Why are you upset?
because in my culture, it's arranged marriages, and my dad wants me to marry a man that's 60 years old, and I'm only 20. And I don't want to marry that
Is today the wedding day?
man. No, but the man is coming over for dinner.
Okay. Do you feel healthy?
Yes, I'm just sad.
Just sad. Can you look down and tell me what you're wearing?
Sandals. And I have on a long dress with lots of beads and gold, like gold leaves. It's like embroidery.
Oh, that's very beautiful. Did you make that?
I'm not sure.
And you're there with your mother and your sisters?
Yes. He's going to make me marry this man, but I don't want to do that. And he says if I don't, then I get to be kicked out.
Why does he want you to marry him?
Because our culture is the husband the father gets to arrange the marriage, and then the parents accept a payment for marrying their daughter off. You're not supposed to marry for love,
Okay.
but I don't believe in that.
What else can you tell me about that scene?
My father comes in and he's yelling at us. My mother just tells me to do what he says.
So you and your mother are close?
Well, she won't stand up for me. She says I'm gonna get hit if I keep talking.
Oh, okay. What does your father do for a living?
Yes, he has management of all the shops and the farmers market and stuff. He has to manage it, make sure everybody pays their rent.
Okay. So you're in there with your sister and your mom and you're preparing the meal.
We have to pray. We have to pray at certain times throughout the day on a mat.
On a mat?
Yes, and we get on our knees. We put our forehead onto the floor, and we have to hold it like that for a long time while we pray. It happens 4 times a day. Everybody has to do it.
Why does everybody have to do it? Would it be in your culture?
Yeah.
What do you pray about?
That God forgives us, that we learn to serve Him, that we submit to Him, that we don't do anything out of selfish desire.
So you get to stop 4 times a day in prayer.
Yes, but I'm upset because why is my father praying, but he's being selfish? I'm gonna run away.
Okay, tell me about that.
I have friends that live in another city. I'm gonna go live with them.
Okay, let's go to that. Let's go ahead and move to then. You're there now.
I had to leave my siblings though. I don't want to leave my siblings with him.
What are you going to do about that?
I don't know.
It's okay.
Oh, my dad is. I think my dad is Jeff. That's who it is.
Okay.
And my siblings are my kids now.
Okay.
I don't want to leave them.
So do you end up staying with them or do you end up leaving?
I left. I went to the city with my friends.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me about that scene?
He's just such a bad man. He's so mean to us and my mother. But he wants everybody to think that he's a holy man, but he's not a holy man. Who sells their 20-year-old daughter to a 60-year-old man? That's
So you saved yourself by running away.
but I left my siblings. Now that he's gonna take his anger out on them.
Is there anything else you want to say about that scene?
It's just sad.
Okay. Now,
My funeral. Nothing ever important happened. So my life was always just hard. Sad.
okay, what can you tell me about the funeral?
It's just my friends.
So you're on the spirit side of it?
No. I feel like I'm still in that body. Or I'm trying to be.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep coming back and waking up.
Okay. And your friends are there to tell you goodbye?
Yes, but I don't want to go because I'm afraid.
Okay. So you have gone forward to the last day of your life in that lifetime.
Just almost like I just died of sadness. Like I just laid down, went to sleep and didn't wake up. And now there's a funeral and I don't want to. I don't want to be dead. I become confused. To be stronger. Just preparation.
Preparation?
Mm-hmm.
Preparation for what?
Because the cycle is going to keep repeating itself until I can conquer it.
Okay, so now that you're on the spirit side of this, is that something you can go back to and take care of before you go to your next life?
I don't know. It's just a really sad life. Just to prepare to be stronger, to become a warrior, to not be controlled by evil.
Okay, good. Is there anything else you want to tell me about that scene?
No, but I knew that it was going to come back in another life. And now it's replayed itself in several of my lifetimes and cycles. Now it's the last time. Now.
So the life you just lived, it's done with?
Yeah.
Okay. So how can you let that go before you go on to your next life?
Just accepting that it's done, that I conquered it.
Okay. So now that you're accepting that you conquered it, how does that make you feel?
Like, just always pay attention to the mission. Always understand that I'm not alone.
That's wonderful. And you learned that with this life, didn't you?
I'm still learning it, but yes.
Okay. So you're on the spirit side of this life.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go to next?
It's like, well, it's sort of like a place in heaven, but it's not heaven. It's like, it's very pleasant, and there's lots of people that I love there. But I know that the work isn't over. That I know that I'm not in heaven yet. Just getting to visit with people.
Okay.
Kind of like a waiting room, but a really, really, really nice one.
So it's kind of like you're healing while you're visiting?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they are too.
And how long will you be there?
As long as I want to.
Okay. What can you tell me about that?
Well, everyone's hugging and laughing and stuff, but they're also wondering what's going to happen to them next. They're wondering if they get to have any allies next, or if they have to go alone. They're wondering if they still have karma, or if they can just stay here and become a guardian.
Okay. What information do you have about all that for you?
Well, I'm going into the room, and there's guides, and there's ancestors, and there's friends, and it's like big, like a big screen TV. You get to see everything that happened in the past, and you get to see everything that's going to happen in the future. And they're telling you, or they're telling me, that you can know everything that's going to happen in the future. And you don't have a choice about going there and doing these things. But you do have a choice about when. So you can stay as long as you want. You can go whenever you want, but you do have to go back and do these things.
tell you what things you have to go back and do? Or can you take care of that now?
No, I have to go back because my lessons weren't completely learned. So I have to go back and I have to fix, like, until I can figure out how to stop being a victim, I'm going to keep having lifetimes how to be a victim. You can't just say, okay, I learned that lesson. You have to actually have a lifetime cycle where you're not a victim. Or me, I have to go back and I have to keep having cycles until I learn how to not be a victim. And I also have to learn how to protect others, have to learn how to teach others self-empowerment. So that's how I stop being a victim, is by teaching others how to not be a victim. And that's my lesson. And I can't just stop the cycles. I have to keep going until I learn the lesson completely.
Okay, wonderful. And what are they showing you on this big screen in this spirit life? Like a past life?
Yeah, every past life, every future life. It's just you can see everything. You can just tap and see whatever you want to see.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is there anything else you want to tell us about this scene before we close it out?
I just feel a strong urge to help others. I feel like that's going to accelerate my healing and my lessons.
Okay, can you ask them to accelerate that now while you're there?
Mm-hmm.
What do they tell you?
But it's only me that can do these things.
Okay. Do those guides want to tell you anything else, or your ancestors want to tell you anything else?
Well, your mom is there for a minute. And she says, like, she's just being a cheerleader. And she says that it's all supposed to be happening this way. And that she's happy that I'm helping you, and that to not give up and to keep going. Keep going. She's really happy. And she says, my mom is going to become happy too.
Oh, good.
She says, my parents will figure it out. I don't have to keep praying and crying.
That's what my mom is telling you.
Yeah, because she knows that carries me backwards. She's just like explaining to me that, oh my God, I can see this so vividly. There's so many bright lights.
Oh, good. You just tell me what you said.
She just popped in, just like real quick, just like cheering me on and saying that I'm doing the right things, and that I'm supposed to be here for you, and that I'm always supposed to be here for you, that we have a cord, and she's glad that we figured it out, and that we need to keep moving forward. And then she said that it's holding me back because I'm worrying about my parents, and ancestral bond is really, really, really strong between everybody. So everybody is always going to feel like, for the most part, if their parents are injured, then they're injured too. But she says, I don't have to feel that way, because all it's doing is making me go backwards. Like whenever I'm doing my sleep work. And I don't need to feel that way, because they're responsible for healing themselves. And they will. But I'm wasting time trying to heal them. And she said she figured it out, and you figured it out, and I have to figure it out.
Can she tell you how to figure it out?
Just to keep seeking joy, doing the things that feel right in my soul, that accelerate me. And if I feel something negative, then that's making me go backwards. But she says she's actually your angel. She's just talking to me.
She knows you need help right now, don't she?
Yeah.
Does she have any other messages she wants to bring through for you? Or for me?
Just good. She's like really happy. She's like a cheerleader, and she's just like really, really, really happy for us. Like, she's not really supposed to be there, but they let her pop in. Just basically say like, good job.
Awesome. Has she said everything she's wanted to say at that moment?
Yeah, but she might come back.
Okay.
Because there's free will here.
What else would these other guides and ancestors like to say? I love that.
Just that I can rest for as long as I need to. But I have to keep going back with my cycles until I learn, till the lesson's complete. So I still have many more lifetimes, because this lifetime I just got out of was actually a really long time ago.
I was gonna say, I feel like those lessons are complete now in this life.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Was there anything else you'd like to bring forward from that scene before we close it out?
No, but it's just funny about your mom, because I feel like the meeting happened a long time ago, but she's in the present, and she just like popped into a picture from the past just to send a message.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah. She said, if you think it, you will. If you believe it and think it, you'll become it.
Oh, that's pretty powerful. Yeah. Believe it, think it, you become it. Oh, I love that. Okay, and is that all from that scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she needs to know that her and her kids have been eternally connected for a really long time, and that her ex-husband is a demon that has tried to follow her many lifetimes, but she's finally conquering him this lifetime.
Okay, so we can close that out with him.
Yeah.
Can we send protection to her kids and her?
Yeah, they already have it, but yeah.
Okay, good. Am I speaking to Willow?
Yes.
Hi, Willow.
Hi.
So I'll always receive you, won't I?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm the one that she likes.
Yeah, she did say that. I think she likes them all, but she favors with you a little more.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on that lifetime that you need to tell her?
I don't think so. I think she'll understand.
Okay. And can we release any of that imprint that she's had from it?
Yeah, we are.
You're doing that right now?
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
Just by reweaving some of the brain framework.
Okay, thank you. And how will she feel once that's done?
Just knowing that her children and herself are eternally connected, that will never change, and that her ex-husband is a non-issue anymore.
Okay, wonderful. And that will help her in her, because, earlier Christy was stressed and worried. Will what you're doing now help her in those situations as well?
Yes.
Okay, good. She wants to know, why do some of her past lives not need closed out?
Because she had an experience when she was a kid that loosened the veil between the lifetimes and between the interdimensions. So a lot of the times it's just kind of bleeding through, but it's not a negative thing. It's actually, if she can learn how to harness that, it'll be very powerful for her. But when she had a car accident when she was 10, it loosened the veil. She was already a very powerful person, a very powerful entity, because she has had so many lifetimes. But when she had the car accident when she was 10 and over on Shady Grove, she hit her head really bad, and it loosened the veil to where she can actually kind of see on the other side. And so a lot of these lifetimes are still concurrent, because there's parts about them that shape her personality now in a really strong and helpful way.
Okay. Can you help her tap into that? To line it up
Yes.
with this current life?
Yes, she's getting there. She used to understand her power, and she used to be able to live in that power and understand all of her abilities, but all of her trauma and her stress and her worry clouded so much of that connection. But she still knows it's there. It's just like a muscle. You have to use it
Okay, how can we release that cloudiness and help the connection for her?
to just keep believing that beautiful things are coming and are here already, and to notice them and to be grateful and practice gratitude. Surround yourself with love. Get off social media. Be around real people that really love you, and practice self-love. Journal, take walks in nature, go to the beach, anything that makes you feel really happy about yourself and content with where you are and how you are, whatever that is. It can be anything. It can be journaling, gardening, the beach, anything, whatever people want to do. It could be a puppy, it could be a baby, it could be a long bath. It could be preparing food. It doesn't matter, just whatever it is that elevates your um, sense of wellness and your sense of wholeness. That is activating all of those light codes and all of those permissions that you thought you needed to struggle to get, but you don't.
Okay, what can you tell her about the the permissions and stuff? I mean, light codes.
Well, it's just a state of being and a state of thinking where you're above what, it's hard to put into this language. You're above what the standard of living and the standard of thinking for most people are, in that you don't see struggle as struggle. You see it as an opportunity, and you don't see love as a mandatory thing or kindness as a mandatory thing. You just see it as a way of being. And you don't see problems as problems. You see them as an opportunity, and you have this wisdom, and you're constantly in a state of awareness and a state of being present. That's why when people spend too much time on social media or technology, they're numbing that. They're actually numbing it so much, and they're going backwards. But when you're doing things like spending time with your family, preparing a meal, reading a book, going for a walk, playing with a puppy, playing with a baby, being with your best friend, watching a good movie, going shopping, whatever it is, those things that make you feel good inside, that's elevating you to where you can access the light codes, and you can um, not have to worry about the permissions, because the permissions only exist because human beings think they exist, but they don't really have to exist. You don't have to have that. You can just be.
Can
And
we?
so you when you love someone, when you hug someone, when you think a higher plane of thinking, like what you like to call low vibrational and high vibrational. When you're thinking high vibrational thoughts, you're activating light codes. When a great example, when a man kisses his wife on the forehead, that's an activation. When a mother is good to her children and not impatient, that's activating a life code. When someone is kind to their parent who may be a difficult person to get along with because of the scarring that they did to you, that's activating a life code. Whenever you whenever you do things that make yourself feel good, because if you feel good, you're going to give good. So if you, like, a lot of people really do find joy in cooking. So if you are preparing a wonderful, delicious, nutritious meal for all of your family members, and you're finding so much joy and happiness and peace in that moment, you're elevating yourself, and you're not being low vibrational. So therefore your thoughts are elevating, and you're no longer gonna, every time you do something like that that makes you feel high vibrational, you're activating those things inside of you that says, Problems aren't really real. They're just opportunities. Um, it's so hard to try to convey, but it's just a higher state of being and thinking.
Okay. Can we help? Can you weave into Christy's brain to help her understand that in her human mind?
Yes.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Well, when she listens to this, she'll gain a lot of insight also.
Okay. And will you help her listen to it?
Yes.
Embed it in her?
Yes.
Thank you. And what was you talking about on inner dimensions?
What do you mean?
In one of your, when she had that rape, the veil was lifted and she kind of lives into interdimensions?
Well, yeah, when she was like after that, when she was a child, she used to always like she would draw pictures of things that no one had ever seen before, but she could see them, and she would think thoughts that no one would understand, but she could understand because the veil was lifted. So like she used to be able to tell you what was going to happen in the future, but that was before she got clouded. She could tell you what was going to happen in the future, and she would be remarkably accurate. And she could tell you if a certain person was good or bad for you. She could tell you if someone was going to hurt you. She could tell you if you had an allergy, if you're going to be allergic to something, just things like that, because the veil was lifted. So she didn't even realize how much power she had, but she could just like know things and see things that no one else could know or see. Um, like, okay, like she used to have these experiences where she could go outside at her grandmother's house, and her grandmother lived in the forest, and she could just sit there and listen to the animals, and she actually understood them and understood what they were saying and understood how they were planning and plotting and being, and it was just something, but she couldn't tell anybody that because they thought they were going to think she was insane. And like when she was pregnant with her children, she could see inside of her uterus, and she could see what her children looked like, and she could see if they were needing a certain nutrient. She could do a body scan on anybody and see what they needed. She could understand past lives remarkably. She could understand other planets remarkably. She understood that there are millions and millions of galaxies with millions and millions of people doing exactly what this planet is doing right now. All of these things are happening interdimensionally, and time isn't really only human beings are the people who they made up time. Time doesn't actually exist, but human beings made it up so they could have a sense of control.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, can we help uncloud Christy's mind so she understands that she has all these possibilities?
Yeah, and you are doing that with all these sessions you're doing and all these conversations you're having and all the unconditional love and support you're giving her. That is actually doing that.
Oh, it is. It's helping her.
A lot.
Okay.
And she like whenever she whenever she was told that she possibly has MS, okay, she had MS, but she also has me and all like millions and millions of other light code workers and guardian angels and ancestors and spirit guides. All of us are battling every single day to keep that away from her body because it's not going to serve her, and we don't want that. So as long as she keeps reaching for the light and trying to have high vibrational thoughts, then we keep getting to work to keep that away from her because we don't want her to be diseased and to be achy and in pain.
Yes, we want her floating.
Yeah.
And we want her mind to be free and her body to float.
Yeah. We work really hard to keep her.
Can you give her a burst of some positive energy in her and some vibrations? She's had a rough week.
Yeah.
Can you upload her with what she needs uploaded with?
Yeah.
And to feel that holiness?
Yes.
Thank you. She's got a lot to pass around to her friends. So if you could just fill her up with it, that'd be wonderful. Is there anything we need to do on a body scan for her today?
No, but she needs to drink that celery juice, and she needs to pay particular attention to citrus. There's something in citrus that can really help her right now.
Okay, okay. Is there anything you can tell her about her weight worry?
Yeah, if she would stop thinking about it, it would resolve itself.
Okay. Can we clear that out of her mind?
Yeah,
Maybe take that worry away and focus it on something more positive.
yes.
Like, I'll let you decide whatever to decide.
Well, like being a light worker, because that's what you guys' calling is.
Oh, well, can you tell us about that?
But yeah, just to do good and to teach others to do good.
Okay,
Kindness, compassion, healing.
wonderful. Okay, she's got another question. She wants to know, where did our spirit guides come from?
Oh, well, I was a really, really, really beautiful woman, and that was my first life, and I wore all these magnificent clothes, but I also passed all of the tests, and I didn't have to keep coming back because apparently I had enough moments where I put someone else's needs above my own needs. And I didn't have any problems doing that. And I didn't have any resentment. And I didn't feel like anybody owed me anything or had to repay me for my kindness ever. So I was greatly rewarded. And I got to be heightened. And they promoted me to not have to come and have any more lives. So then that's how I learned how to do this.
Oh, I love that. So you love doing it.
Yeah.
And then we get to talk to you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing that story with us. Is there any other messages you'd like to bring through for Christy?
Just that Earth is flawed. Human beings are flawed. The doubt is not real, but it feels so real. And the worry is not real. None of those, all those things are just very earthly, very carnal things. But you both have, in so many ways, risen above carnal things. You don't have to think about things like that. Just when they come to your mind, just sweep them away, and then eventually they'll stop coming to your mind.
Okay. And you'll help her and me understand that, like incorporate it in our.
Yeah, and she needs to stay off her phone at night so she can go to sleep.
Okay.
I hate those phones.
Is that what's making her tired?
Well, yeah, and all of her subconscious, it's not even really, the word subconscious is very transferable, but all of her worries that she doesn't work out in her day-to-day life, that she doesn't even need to think about anymore.
How can we help her at nighttime with that?
Just to set like a routine, turn the phone off at an early time, maybe read a relaxing book or have a relaxing conversation or meditate. But she's got to stay off that phone.
Okay. Okay. And can we help bring you forth into her everyday life?
Yeah, all she has to do is ask.
Now we just gotta get her to ask. Okay. Well, is it okay if I go ahead and bring forth my guides?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Just let me know when it's okay to proceed.
Whenever you want to.
Is this Cresita?
Mm-hmm.
How are you, babe? How are you?
I'm always good.
I love that. Okay. Now, the other day I feel like I got a vision of a light code. Did I?
Yeah, the light code is already in you.
Why did it pop up in my vision?
Well, a lot of the times the things that you think about are actually images from your past lives, and they're just such a strong representation of something that you already lived through in another cycle, kind of sort of just showing up in this cycle, and you're trying so hard to make sense of things, these new concepts that you're learning. And so at other lifetimes when you're learning these same concepts, those moments are bleeding through into your conscious mind today.
Okay, so that's why it popped up into my vision the other day.
Yeah,
And I know Willow talked about light codes, but what exactly are they?
it's just another name for revelation, positive revelation. So when you're thinking the way that you're supposed to be thinking, and you're nurturing yourself and you're nurturing others and you're giving freely and you're having positive thoughts and positive feelings, then you get revelation. And so revelation is like opening up a book inside your brain and releasing knowledge that you never thought that you could access. So light code is just a moment in time where a book is opened inside your brain and all this revelation and all of this wisdom comes out that you never even knew you were capable of accessing. And it's because you're not thinking low vibrational thoughts. You're not thinking selfish thoughts. You're not lying. You're not stealing. You're not plotting. You're actually being very kind to yourself and you're being very kind to others. And you're on your journey and you're seeking how to keep improving. So the universe rewards you with light codes. And light codes is like, okay, so human beings are very stupid unless they work really hard at it. And even the ones that are smart, that have worked really hard at it, they're not smart in the right ways. So a human being only uses about 0.10% of the brain power that they have. And so every time you get a light code, it's just like taking another layer off of your brain and so you can access even deeper portal of knowledge.
Oh, I love that. So I'm going to be getting a lot more light codes.
Yes, if you just keep being authentic and kind to yourself and to others.
Okay. So when I get them, do I just write them down?
Yeah, you can journal that. You can also access more by journaling and writing and doing exactly what you've been doing.
Okay. And the definition of that light code will come to me? Because
Yeah,
I don't know what that one I saw the other day meant. Well,
I don't think it meant anything. I think it was an imprint from another life that you were just remembering.
I love that. Okay,
So
so
it's not a physical thing that you're going to see. It's not anything physical. It's a spiritual part of your brain that's awakening.
oh, I love
It's
that.
the universe rewarding you for being high vibrational and seeking truth and trying to understand. And you get rewarded by being selfless and kind, but not only to others, it's to yourself. So a lot of people get caught up in being kind and selfless to other people, but then they neglect their own needs. So you have to nurture yourself as well, and you have to be seeking truth, and then you'll get rewarded with all this knowledge that'll change the world.
Okay, so the journey I've been on the last several months of just seeking more and more of what y'all have helped us access.
Yes, but sometimes you make a mistake and you think your mistake is thinking that there's a limit, and there's not a limit. There's no limit to the amount of amazing, life-changing knowledge that you're going to receive.
Okay, because I feel like I've received a lot the last few months and keep receiving more.
Just keep seeking and you'll find all of the answers.
Oh, thank you for that. Okay, now I had a dream the other night about some, I don't know if it was goldfish or what it was, but what can you tell me about that and why did it make my stomach weird the next day?
Well, you're expelling a lot of darkness because you keep seeing the light. You keep reaching for the light. So a lot of darkness is leaving you. And the dream doesn't have anything to do with your expelling the darkness. The dream was the way that your brain was trying to make sense of the fact that you keep getting all of this good knowledge.
Okay.
So your brain was just trying to comprehend all of the knowledge you've been receiving. And it's like you were trying to make your brain understand it.
Okay, because the fish were beautiful and
Yeah,
they were still alive.
yeah. Our brains, the way we try to process whenever we're asleep is really strange.
Yeah, because after that I felt weird for a whole week. Like my body was just expelling a bunch of stuff.
You're just transitioning.
Okay, so this past week has been normal.
Yeah, you're just transitioning to a new body, a new mind.
Okay, okay,
A lot of things will change. Your metabolism will change. Things that you thought you liked the taste of, you won't. Things that you never liked the taste of, you'll start wanting. Things that, subjects you were never interested in, you'll start caring about. Lots of things will change because you're coming into a new body. You're going to create a new earth. You have a new set of standards and a new set of morals.
okay. So it's just refreshing me for my newness.
Right? It's like a cocoon that you're going to come out of.
Okay, not sure I've ever went about it that way, but it's not a difficult experience. It's just, and it's not uncomfortable. It's just different, if that makes sense.
Yes, but you're okay. If you wasn't okay, you would know.
Yes. And thank y'all for taking care of me. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Um, I know I've asked this before, but maybe you can tell me again. What can you tell me about the portal downloads and how to access the downloads to be able to help others?
Well, you've been spending more time in your yard, haven't you?
Yes.
So it's just sacred. For your backyard, it's just sacred earth. And the more you spend time there, the more you'll get the answers to all of your questions. And you already are helping others. And you already are getting downloads. And you already are receiving the knowledge. You just have to keep doing what you're doing. And for some reason, you were drawn to this yard with this person at this time because you were ready. And there's been so many holy things and good things that have happened in that yard. You just have to stay back there. You have to keep touching the dirt and the grass and the earth. You have to say thank you for the trees. Thank you for the birds. Thank you for all of it, the flowers, everything. And if you pay attention to your dog always wants to go and point in the direction of the area that you're going to get the most knowledge and wisdom. And most people don't ever get a chance like that with something in the earth because in the recent millennia, most people have become addicted to being inside with their electricity and their comforts of being inside. But when people were created, they were only created for outside. So they understood the power of the elements, the power of the dirt. And now everybody's so sick because they don't touch the ground. They don't breathe the clean air. They don't look at the trees. They don't talk to the birds. They don't touch the dirt. They don't mess with the grass or pick flowers. Everybody's so sick because all they do is stay sheltered underneath roofs and with electricity and things. So because you've realized that you have something special in your backyard, that will accelerate a lot of your growth. But you already have so much growth and you already have received so many downloads and you have been helping so many people. Try not to rush the process because all of it's coming.
Okay. And you can help me not rush it or help me have the patience for that?
Yes.
Okay. Do we need to do a body scan on me today?
No, because everything that's happening to you is part of the process.
Okay. Okay. And you'll guide me through that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And, okay. A few sessions back, you talked about kind of like in some parallel lives. What can you tell me about parallel lives?
I don't really think I'm supposed to tell you much about that.
Oh, okay. You can tell me. You can just tell me whenever it's time to tell me.
Okay.
I don't want you to get in trouble. Okay. Can you tell me, like, the last session we did, we talked about Christy and I have done different healing techniques in our past lives. What can you tell us about that?
Well, you're already on the journey. You're already learning the lessons. You're already attaining the tools. You can't go by someone else's playbook or someone else's diary of techniques. You have to be authentic to your own instinct. And you are already attracting all of the knowledge that you need. The only thing that you have to attain now is the confidence and the belief that going forward you have what you need. You're calling the people for it towards you that you need. If Christy would stop getting blocked with all of her stuff that she has going on that's actually meaningless, then she would be able to put forth a lot of power into summoning the right women that you need to come and help you, because you're already learning all the things that you need to learn. You just need to keep, you're doing a good job researching, you're doing a good job documenting, and Christy has all of this knowledge from all this time that she spent on this when she was alone and she didn't have anybody. And then she felt like maybe she was wrong or whatever, so she just stopped researching it and thinking about it. She can go back and she can pull her journals from back then. She can go and find all the books that she bought back then, and she can actually really remind herself and refresh herself on so much of that. And she can help you in all the ways that you need help. And thank you for having compassion on her whenever she's not available in the way that you need. Her body does not like me telling you that.
Do we need to ask her guides to relax her?
Yeah,
Can Willow do that now?
yeah.
And
But the more that you two spend time together, and I don't mean in like an obsessive weird way. I just mean like people have people have become so isolated that spending time together now is foreign, and that makes us very sad because it's supposed to be the opposite way. You're built for community, you're built for people, you're built for love. Love is the only nourishment you actually need. So when you and Christy start spending a lot of time together and make it more of a community of your friendship, you will be led to all of the things. You'll be led to all of the knowledge. You'll really get down to the brass knuckles. You'll both be journaling. You'll both be guiding. You'll both be spirit writing. You'll both, if you go shopping, you'll be led to a stone or a book or a smell or whatever that you really need for your practice. All of it will come together. All of it will be braided together. All of it will be like magic the more time you spend together in love. And I thank you for being patient with her. She's been patient with you in the past, and now it's your turn, and you're doing it beautifully.
just send her all the love she needs. Yeah, so I just need to be patient.
Yeah, but not for long.
Not for long. Okay, so I'm on the right path.
Yes, and because I told you so much that I wasn't even supposed to tell you last time, I can't give you a lot of specifics right now, but I can just tell you to really trust yourself and your instinct, because you're right on. You're right on.
Okay, can you get in my mind and help me have more organization?
Yes, but don't you see how much you've improved?
Yes, tremendously.
You're doing well.
You've helped me a lot, and thank you for that.
Thank you for asking.
Yes. And, again,
Just that you're on the right path. Don't get distracted by negativity. Don't think about the past too much.
I've been doing better, I feel like.
Yes,
I feel like I've been doing good with those 4 questions, too.
yes, you have. You're doing really well in almost all areas right now, which is why you're getting a new body and you're going to create a new earth.
Oh, thank you. And having the new body, I'll have new excitements and new taste and
Yeah,
getting rid of old ways.
yes, you'll feel completely like a different person. Your skin will be different eventually. Your hair will change. Everything about you will change because you're getting a new body, because you're allowing all of the light to enter you and rejuvenate you.
Yes, I would love for it to rejuvenate me completely. Is that why my hair's getting grayer?
I just mean like maybe it'll be curlier, maybe it'll have like a more of a different tint, just all the things.
I'll just be glowing with light.
Yeah, and your eyes are already changing.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, I'll gladly take my curly hair and accept all the light y'all want to put in me.
You'll notice like less body odor. You'll notice like more of a like your skin elasticity will be more like when you're in your 20s,
Oh, that'd be great.
because you're only focusing on the light and you're not letting those negative things inside and kill all that good stuff inside of you,
Wonderful.
which is what most people actually do. They let oxidative stress go inside of them and age them rapidly.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Mm-mm.
Does that mean that crease in my forehead will go away?
Yes, if you just start smiling, stop thinking about it, stop worrying about anything like that, just worry about your mission field.
Mission field, yeah, because I have been smiling a lot more. My mission field is that the field of helping people?
Yes, that's your journey from here on out.
What can you tell me about the mission field?
Well, you already know about it. You already know that you're supposed to be helping people. And you already know that you have access to this knowledge that most people don't know. And you already, I mean, you've pretty much figured it out. And I think whenever you see a lotus flower,
Oh, I love those.
and then that's going to be like your sign that everything's shifting rapidly now.
I have been drawn to those lately. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Cresita. And I've been doing good about sharing stuff too. We started the YouTube.
Yes, you're not ashamed at all.
No, no, definitely not. So magical. Okay,